Well, hello there, Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome to review of Ready to Love. This is episode 2, and I am April Mason, your #1 femininity and dating coach for the successful woman. And I am glad that you decided to tune in. I live in Atlanta, I date in Atlanta, and I also teach dating, as I said. So I thought the show Ready to Love would be befitting for me to go ahead and do a review on it. Because last week I kind of gave you a little breakdown of what dating can be like in Atlanta. So I gave you the review of the show, but I also gave you a little background of what I've experienced, what my clients have experienced dating in Atlanta. It's a different beast than anywhere else that I've actually been, but it's doable. You actually meet really great people if you are dating from the perspective of collecting information and liking someone for who they are, not necessarily what they have. If you're really trying to get to the core of things, I believe that dating in Atlanta doesn't have to be as bad as they say, but I do understand why they say what they say. So welcome, 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 everybody. I see you guys coming in. If you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you go to the like button above and click the like button above, and make sure in order to get my notifications, you go to hover over the follow button and then click see all and see first. If you are not on my YouTube channel, make sure you join me over there under April Mason TV, because I'll put videos that I might not put videos on Facebook here. I may just put them over there and go live on YouTube. So let's get right into this review, you guys. I said, you know what? Last week I made it a little longer because I wanted to give you guys a little background on that. But now that I've given you that from last week, let's get right into episode 2. Okay. Episode 2, I actually, the show is an interesting show to me. And you guys know I teach femininity for a living across the country. I have clients from here to everywhere in between, teaching the whole art of femininity and getting back to womanhood and letting a man lead and alluring him to come to you versus you have to be extra and go to him. But what I find on the show, you see a lot of competition, and that's just not Miss Mason's way of doing things. Hey, Darren, that's my brother who was tuned in. Thank you so much for tuning in. So that's just not my way, but I understand the concept of the show. I understand how television works. I've done a couple reality shows myself, so I get it. There's probably a lot of cut and paste, a lot of things that you do not see in the editing room. So I get that. So based upon what we did see, hey, my Teach Me How to Date VIP Academy ladies, based upon what I did see, I'm going to give you my feedback on that. So let's go to my notes, because you guys know I had to take some notes, honey. Take some notes. Now, one of the things that I noticed is Aaron. All of the ladies are like, oh, kill him, Aaron, right? But the funny thing about Aaron is majority of all the women say that he seems like he's a ladies' man, but they keep putting him through because now he's in the top 3. So they said he seemed like a ladies' man and that, he might have been the player type. But what they say, he fine, he has a nice smile, he has a nice body. So they keep putting the man that they say seems to be a charmer or a ladies' man through. I don't understand that, because if we're looking for love, then shouldn't we pick people from a different perspective? Because once again, Aaron, he came in showing his abs first episode. All the women were swooning. He does have that little, country twang in his voice, and he's good to look at. But for me, he would just be good to look at, because once again, if the majority of the women said he seems like the charmer, the ladies' man, why would you keep putting him through? Because what I noticed about Aaron is this: he's general with everyone. So you don't know exactly where you stand. And I've dated men like Aaron before. Those kind of guys, put it like this: if everybody's special, nobody's special. So you never know where you stand unless he actually goes out and chooses, you are special, you are who I'm going to be with. But if there's none of that, and I don't see none of that with the ladies, I can't tell who he likes more, who he likes less, because he's the same across the board with everybody. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to speak to you. I'm going to give you compliments. I'm going to be cordial. That's across the board. However, all of the other women are swooning over Aaron, but yet Aaron has not made anyone special to him. But yet they keep putting that joker through. Are we ready for, are we looking for love? Or are we lusting behind the image of someone? Now, they let Pastor Chris go, right? And Pastor Chris, one of the things that I liked about him is that he was 100 with what it is that he wanted. I like what he did. But see, he went on a date with Melinda. Now, you know, Melinda has her eye. Melinda's 45 and Aaron is 34. She is like, oh my God, like a schoolgirl with a crush over Aaron, right? Well, when she went out with Pastor Chris, I find that, well, in my opinion, she didn't give him a fair shot because her eyes are already on Aaron. Now, she felt like it was too soon for Pastor Chris to say, look, I don't want to have sex until I'm married. What you feel about that? Oh, can we change the subject? But now, if Aaron would have said that, it would have been, yeah, let's talk about it. But because she wasn't really feeling Pastor Chris anyway, it's let's change the subject, right? But she said, I thought it was too soon to have that conversation. Well, you're on a show. You got to find out the pertinent information that you need to know to make a decision on someone. Pastor Chris didn't have all day, and he seemed to be very sincere to me, in my opinion. He seemed to be very sincere to me. But because Melinda already had her eyes set on 34-year-old, seems to be a charmer, but he has a nice smile, and he has this thing about him, and blah, 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 blah. He's sexy, and he just got my juices flowing type deal. You went over there with him. But then Aaron is the type of guy, from my perspective, you would have to pursue him. He's used to women pursuing him. That's why he's general with everybody. Treat everybody special so nobody knows if they're special. Okay? So when we get to a certain age, and one of the other things that I notice about the show is majority of the women are older. They don't have a lot of 40 and over men. I don't even know if they have a man over 40. All of the men are younger men. But we have 45-year-old woman, 41-year-old woman, 36, 32. And you know, the majority of women that are in, the majority of 40 and overs are women. I don't think I've seen a 40-plus man other than Pastor Chris. And now he's off the show. So think about it. Last week they kicked off Darnell, right? Because, oh, he seemed like he's my brother. Friend-zoned him. They friend-zoned him, right? Because they didn't understand. The man might have been a little nervous, but a wise woman knows just because a man is nervous, that doesn't mean that he's not a good catch. So in my opinion, they should have started asking him questions based upon what they picked up about him. They saw he liked to work out. Well, tell me about how to work out. I'm trying to lose some weight, Darnell. They didn't do that. It was like, I want what I want, and I don't want to dig. People got to understand, chemistry is not always made. It can be created. Mike must have just turned 40 because on the show it said he's 39. Okay, so I'm sitting back looking. Even if these men are 40 and over, it wasn't as many of them as it is younger guys on the show. So I looked at that. I paid attention to the whole Pastor Chris thing with Melinda, and I looked at Melinda and her thing with Aaron, the 34-year-old. And I just don't believe that she actually gave Pastor Chris a shot because her eye is focused directly on Aaron. But yet everything that she says about Aaron has nothing to do with the substance about him because Aaron is giving everybody the same thing. Once again, if you make everybody special, no one is special. So the question for me became, what has Aaron done to be this doggone special to everybody other than his looks? Because he's treating everybody the same. Everybody is, pretty and beautiful. Baby girl. Everybody is the same across the board. So what's all of the hoopla about? What's all the hoopla? Because he hasn't proven anything. So that's surface level. But Melinda is like, oh my God, every time I see him, he just do it for me. Well, what does he do for you if he's treating you like everybody else? So that was very interesting to me. So moving on from Melinda, let's talk about Tiffany and Alex. Now, I like Tiffany. She seems very matter of fact. You can see she's a kind of assertive, but yet, you know, you could tell, for me, she seems like she has a wall up because she's been through some things. I get it. I don't know what she's been through, but I can feel that from her. I'm open, I'm here, yet don't fool with me because, you know, I can cut you if I need to. So that's what I feel from her. And with Alex, once again, I think Tiffany is 40-something or 40, and Alex is what, 36? 34? If I'm not mistaken, she might be between 34 and 36. Once again, the younger guys. So they're clicking, you know, and they're having a good time together. So I don't know. I just don't like the fact that there's so many younger men on the show. Like they are not any 40s, mid 40s, early 50s that are not interested in the women on the show or that age range. I just have a problem with that. I probably would 34, what am I going to do with you? 34, 36. And true enough, if you like younger men, that's fine. But I just would have wished it was a little bit more balanced other than having Pastor Chris at 49. And then you have all these 31s, 36s, 34s, 37-year-olds. Because the other guy that we're going to talk about in a minute, Akiba, he was 37. So we don't see a lot of the 40s over. So I would have done something a little bit different. I'm giving some older, distinguished, grounded, settled in their career men, you know, some men. Not saying that they aren't men, the olds on the show, but more mature, you know, more distinguished type of fellas with some wisdom and a little bit, you know, more. They lived a little, you know, they've been out there in the world a little bit more longer, so they've learned some things. So I would have liked to see that. So Alex and Tiffany, you know, they are clicking, but one of the things that she said, or at least that they showed in the show, was she said, he makes my juices flow, is what she said, you know. And so everything that I'm hearing, or that they're at least putting in the show, because once again, I told you, I've done reality TV and they can edit. Everything seems to be about the look, about the physical, is from what I'm gathering from the show. So I'm like, that's not really what it should be about. Because to be honest, if I'm going to be honest and do this review, what they're showing on the show is exactly why there's a problem with dating in Atlanta. I mean, they're proving it by the, they're proving the point. They're proving the point. Because even in editing, you can put some stuff, put substance. There's one piece in the show that I was so excited about, and it was so heartfelt and moving that it was amazing to me that out of all that 1 hour show, 40 some odd minutes, there was only one moment in the show that was real, in my opinion. So we'll get to that in a minute. Now, let's talk about Akiba. Akiba is 37, and he went out with Christina. She was 32. Well, Akiba was cool with me until they went out on a date. And when she said she didn't drink, she said, "Oh no, I don't date people I don't trust people that don't drink." Really? So instead of him being okay with her being a non-drinker, he immediately got the thumbs down from me because of that. Before, he was funny, he was charismatic, you know, he was actually cool until he went there and he started giving quotes like he's a Facebook meme. And all he had to do was say, "Okay, you don't drink? Okay, well, what'd you like? What you want? Some water? What do you call it? Shirley Temple or Sprite?" But he has to go in and tell her, "Well, so you're not going to drink or try something new because you're stubborn?" No, she just doesn't want to drink because she doesn't want to drink. That's it. So he got a little cocky and a little arrogant to me. And I'm like, wait a minute. She just doesn't want to drink. Then on top of that, he's one that I would eliminate because he says, "Oh, here's another thing about me. I'm not affectionate." Really? He said, "Oh, no, we're not holding hands and stuff in public. I'll touch you in the bedroom, but I can't touch you out in public because that's just not who I am." So you're telling her not to try something. You know, you're getting on her for not trying something new with drinking, but you're not willing to try something new with being more affectionate in public. or holding his hand, holding your girl's hand. So I'm okay with sending him on. Okay, goodbye. Yes, Lorraine, boy, bye. Now, we didn't get much from Rita or Courtney. Courtney was the one that walked up to Aaron and said, I want to see what all the hype is about, so come on, right? So she went to have a conversation with him. But once again, what did Aaron do? Aaron kept it general with her. General. So, because of that, nobody knows where they stand with Aaron. Now, move on to Mike and Shatavia. They went out on a date. Now, here's the thing with Mike. One girl told Mike, I didn't think he was respecting the process because pretty much he had already chosen Shay. And for me, I don't have a problem with him already choosing Shay, just like I had no problem with Pastor Chris automatically choosing Stormy. They connected. That's what happens when you're in the dating process. Some people you'll be drawn to and some you won't. Yeah, I mean, you won't. So with that, it's like, why everybody tripping on Mike because he automatically, wanted to stick and get to know Shay? Well, I understand it's a show, but if it's going to be a show, show the other substance. Don't be mad because he found one lady he wants to connect with, but yet all of the other scenes that you're showing is just talking about people who are into it for the look of things, the appearance of things, the lust of things. I mean, so I just, that part I really don't get. But once again, the show, from my perspective, living in Atlanta for 15 years, and now that I'm back in the dating scene, this show, from what the parts that they're showing from the edits, is exactly why people are not connecting. You're not hearing anything of substance. The only two things that I heard of substance was from Pastor Chris and from Ashley. And we get to Ashley, the baby, in a minute. She the baby of the crew, and she killed everybody. So when you look at the whole makeup of everything, I'm really not impressed. And these are the same things that I have to deal with my clients. Everything's about, the physical and oh, girl, he fine. Stop talking about how fine somebody is. Can you look deeper than that? What are your core needs? But once again, maybe they just didn't air that part, which I believe they should have if this is something that was discussed. Because right now, it has the women looking extremely thirsty and masculine. And when Mike and Shatavia were out, she said something that was very interesting to me. She said, I'm looking for somebody to be my Superman, superhero. I'm tired of always having to step up and take care of everybody else. But in the same breath, she says, I'm always busy, and men get intimidated because I'm always busy. Well, so how can Superman or your superhero come in and be there for you if you're not making any room in your schedule for him? That's that thing I be talking about. Everybody, I'm so busy. But yet I want somebody to come in and be there to support me, be there to help save me. We want to be saved sometimes, ladies. And ain't nothing wrong with needing to be saved sometimes. Somebody can just come swoop you up like Superman and fly you on off. But you can't say with one breath, I'm so busy, I'm running my business, I'm a strong woman, I'm independent, I got my own thing going on, but I've always have to be there for everybody else, but there's nobody ever there for me. When is my ship gonna come through? You can't do that. And so Mike told her, yeah, I'm busy too. My relationship don't work out because I'm busy. So you both busy. So what you gonna do about that? To me, no one is that busy. The same way you schedule to eat, you schedule to take a bath, you schedule to do whatever is important to you. If you want love in your life, you can schedule for that. You can leave, okay, I work Monday through Fridays. Tuesdays and Fridays are my days that I'm going to spend with my bae or get out dating or whatever it is that you do. That's how that works. So all this busyness, busy doesn't equal productive in my book. And if your checkbook don't relate, it don't look the same as your busyness, no, you ain't that busy. Well, you ain't that productive. And so we live by that. I'm busy, busy, busy. Like, no, that ain't it. So that's what I found with her and Mike, as well as Mike said, her eyes is saying something, but I want to see what they saying. It was more of a, once again, in my opinion, a flirty, lusty thing, because the conversation was not deep enough for, I guess, for me to make a decision on anything, because it was real surface conversation, in my opinion. That's just me. That's just me. Now, what was one of the things that was interesting is Mike, and when he went out with Dr. Lexi. Now, ladies, we talk about this all the time. And a lot of you get upset, or I can do what I want to do, why I got to do something for a man, and blah, 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 blah. Reality is, men don't like all that extra. He looked at all that extra hair she had on. He said, Mike said, it looks like she took her hand, put it in the makeup, and just rubbed it all on her face. So she came in there looking like something else, right? Makeup should enhance you, not make you, okay? So he wanted to see her without the makeup. But I like how he did it. He was very respectful in how he did that. And when she took that stuff off of her face, she looked so much better. And she said, well, you never know what I'm going to look like. And she just looked plastic. She just really looked plastic. And it's like, girl, just take it off. What you say, Mike looks like a player. Well, what does a player look like? That's what, see, that we put all of this stuff on folks. What does a player look like? What makes him look like a player? Yes, his approach was very beautiful to that. And she took it off and she wasn't offended by it. But we've been saying this for a long time. Most men do not like all that extra makeup on and all that. You never wear your own hair. You know, you always got on a wig all the time. Oh, that's my protective style. Well, unprotected sometimes. We ain't got to look like we in a costume all the time. Deal with some of your issues. And I can say this because some of my clients, I asked them, why do you wear all of this stuff? And they're hiding behind something. What it is, I don't know all the time. They might not really want to disclose that. But a lot of it is I'm hiding behind issues that I don't want to deal with. Now, this isn't everybody. Because I know some of you will come in and say, oh, I can wear what I want to wear. Men they shouldn't be trying to tell us what to do. Well, don't be mad if nobody is choosing you. Like I said earlier in my video yesterday. Men know what to do to attract us. They've mastered it. So why haven't we mastered what it is that attract them? You can't give a dog cat food and wonder why it's not taking it. That's just not what the doggone cat eat. That's not what the cat eat. So if men like more natural looking women, why not give him that? He doesn't seem to be on the show looking for love to me. He seems to be more into himself. What makes you, that I didn't get. I didn't get Mike being into himself. I got Mike was out there dating and what dating does. That's not, maybe, and if that's what you picked up, I understand. But for me, I didn't get that from Mike, because he said off the rip, I'm looking for someone to marry because I want to have some kids. He went right into it when he first started. Then he came back to the other night on episode 2 and was like, he asked Shatava, what is spirituality to you? So Mike seems to have a little bit more substance to me. Because he's asking questions that are more, in-depth questions. Yes, he is charismatic, and it might be that. But I don't think, he doesn't strike me as a player. He doesn't, because here's the thing. The difference between him and Aaron is, Aaron kept everybody general. Mike automatically was attracted to Sheba. What's her name? Sheba? I'm sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. But he was automatically attracted to her. So he stuck with what he was attracted with off the rip. A man that's a player like that, he's going to work the room. Mike didn't initially work the room. The only reason why Mike started talking to other women is because the other women felt like Mike was not a part of the process, and he already had focused on what it is that he wanted. So I'm like, no, I don't think that Mike is more of a player. I think if anybody was more of a player, it would be Aaron. because he didn't choose anybody. He wasn't gravitating to anyone. But Mike, at least on the episode 1, went directly to old girl and was like, boo. And the other women were like, I feel like he's focused on her. But that's what people do when they make a connection. So let's get to the two that I feel like were the most honest. Number 1 was Pastor Chris, and I talked about it a little earlier. Every woman that he went out with, he told them that I want to wait till marriage. Right? And when he said that, Stormy gave the best response. That's why I hate that they took him off, because she said the only 2 men that she made a connection with, the other women voted them off. But the other guys had more substance than the ones that they kept on. A couple of the ones that they kept on. So I like that his honesty of wanting to not have sex until after he was married. Stormy said, you know what? I never thought about that, but that could be something that I can do. I respected that. Melinda, on the other hand, she thought it was too soon to have that conversation. That's only because she wasn't feeling Pastor Chris. Because it was Aaron, that's what it would have been. And I think I saw one of the episodes, she said, oh, I've already had sex with him in my mind. So, once again, what's outweighing what? You know, what's outweighing? Is it the physical, or is it actually having somebody that wants to get to know the core of who you are? And the best part was Ashley, the baby. If you're in my Teach Me How to Date VIP Academy, you know that last month I taught on how to use vulnerability to draw him closer. That baby got so vulnerable. I was sitting here like, yes, yes, yes. One of the things that she said, number 1 was, I've dated men like Aaron before. I don't want to do that no more, because she saw what it was. Baby girl, 32 years old. I'm sitting over here like, mama, like, yes, you better do that, girl. But guess what? When she got vulnerable, y'all, she broke down crying. And what the fellas do? Aaron said, well, damn, that was sexy. Sexy to me. Mike was like, wow, any woman that can open up like that makes me want to get to know her even more. So ladies, there's levels to vulnerability, and I teach that in our academy. But what she did, and the fact that, like Aaron said, she took ownership and took responsibility of her own life, she became my top pick on this show. I love her openness. I love that she's bubbly. I love that she is a woman that knows what she wants. I love that she is a woman that is okay with verbalizing. I want a good man in my life. I want my own man. She said, I've been the side chick. I want my own man, and I've done the work, and I'm doing the work so that I never go back to who I used to be, being somebody's side piece. I loved her. Angela says, yes, when some women get vulnerable, some men use that as weakness. But we don't care about them. We don't care about that stuff. Our vulnerability has nothing to do with them and how they're going to respond. Our vulnerability has to do with us. The more open that we are, and being okay with being open, and being okay with, I don't give a doggone about what you're going to say about my vulnerability. It doesn't matter. We give too much of our power away. It's like, so what that they don't like my vulnerability? I'm going to be transparent. If you claim you want to know who I am, I'm getting ready to show you who I am. How you respond to that is not my problem. That's why even with me, I decided when I started to date again, I said, I'm going to show up as I would if I was in a relationship already. If I'm at my house and I'm eating, and I might say, hey, you want to come over to grab something to eat? Some women would say, oh, you don't cook for no man. Well, hell, I got to eat. And if I'm cooking for me, you want something to eat? I'm just going to ask you want something to eat? If we're at that stage where I'm inviting you over to my house. So I don't have a problem with that. You know, worrying about if a man is going to use my vulnerability as my weakness, as weakness. Who cares? Because it's not about him. It's about you freeing yourself. And Ashley freed herself. That's why she didn't care what Mike or Aaron or Dr. Lexi or Melinda had to say. Who cares? In this moment, it's about me. It's about me being a feminine woman, and I'm able to feel I'm able to feel. She owned who she was. She owned where she was. And she owned what it is that she wanted. One of the things that I teach my clients is this. Before you can attract a man in your life, you have to be open enough to say, yes, I want a man in my life. Doesn't make you needy. It makes you a woman that knows exactly what it is she wants. You didn't say you want any man. You said you want a man, your man in your life. So you've already done the work. And you know what it is that you need in your life. But with her, she did that. She didn't care about nothing or nobody. And she did exactly what I would have instructed her to do. Sit there and you be your authentic self. However that shows up, be okay with that. If some tears happen, it's okay. Let it be seen. It's okay. But we try to be hard all the time. And a lot of us, we walk around like we don't need any help and we got it all the time, but we're breaking down our bodies. Hey, Lucinda, we're breaking down our bodies. We're breaking down, emotionally because we hiding so much. I ain't hiding nothing. If I am at a movie with you and I break down crying because I see the little duckies and the little duckies are following behind their mommy and it's just so heartwarming and overwhelming to me, I'm going to break down crying. It's just what it is. I'm not going to pretend that I don't feel because I'm afraid that somebody's going to use my vulnerability against me. They cannot use it against me when I own my own stuff. Okay? The only way a person can use it against you is if you allow them to. Let all of the other thought processes and baggage of what somebody might say and how he might feel if I get too vulnerable. No, if a man is saying, I'm looking for something and you get vulnerable with him and he runs away, he just ain't your dude. And that's okay. Because yesterday I did a video called Relax. He's not your husband. Every man that you meet is not going to be your husband. So if he can't accept your level of vulnerability, then that's on him. That don't have nothing to do with you. Okay? So let's stop giving away our power. And actually, that's all I had from this episode 2. But the biggest takeaway that I got, honestly, was that if the women could say that Aaron seems like to be a ladies' man or a charmer, and they kept putting that joker through, what does that say about how you choose men? Okay? The only one on the show that had enough sense to say, nah, I've dealt with Aaron's before, was the baby. Miss Ashley. And she gets a hand clap and applause from me all day because she saw it, she noticed it, she said, I've had that before and I'm not going back to that. Whereas these grown women, 40 plus, are chasing them behind this boy. Really? But the baby realized, So nobody knows where they stand with Aaron. Because if you make everybody special, nobody is special. At least Mike decided, you know what, I'm really feeling Sheba. Alex decided, I'm really feeling Tiffany. Okay? At least they were able to make assessments and you know who they're generally interested in. But everybody that's interested in Aaron, Aaron has done nothing to show you that he's interested in you. So I was with Courtney. Let's see what all the hype is about Aaron. Everybody hyped up about his smile and his abs and he chocolate and he do got this little cute little, a half smile that he does, and he got this little southern drawl when he talks. So that's not enough to make me feel warm and fuzzy. Because he hasn't done anything for that. I don't understand that. And the other thing that I would change about the show is I would have had more men that are more experienced, as far as if you have 40 and over women, I would have had 40 and over men other than Pastor Chris. And I think Pastor Chris should have had a little bit more time on the show. But he didn't. but I could respect that. No, Sheba wasn't one of the ones that went to dinner. If you got to go watch episode 1 to see what Mike and Sheba was all about, because I think that's who he had his eye on, and he made it very clear. So the show, I understand the concept of the show, but to me, they're really showing what dating in Atlanta is. Physical, material things. So that's what I saw, because that's what they're showing. They're showing that. What you call her name is Shea. I might be giving her name the wrong name. Shay or Shea or Sheba. Girl, if you watch it, I love you on the show. I like you on the show. You are a woman that know how to sit back. You said, I'm not going to be the woman that's going to tell Mike to leave and go see somebody else. What I'm going to do is, it's up to him if he want to leave me. But I think he's feeling you. But anywho, that's all I have for you guys tonight. We're going to see what episode 3 is about. It comes on Saturdays. I was doing this on Tuesdays because I thought the show was going to be on Tuesday, but it only premiered on Tuesday. So I'll keep coming back at 10 o'clock on Tuesday until the show is finished so we can discuss it. But overall, Ashley is one of my top favorites. I will say that. You know, she's one of my favorites because she let it be seen. And a couple of my favorites were already kicked off the show. So I think we really need to look at, ladies, and even in your life, are you picking up men based upon what they look like? Because if they can say Aaron seems to be the charmer, the ladies' man, and they keep putting that joker through, he is now in the top 3 right now. He can't be voted off now. That says a whole hell of a lot about how women are choosing men. Because at the same breath, you could talk about him being a charmer. And Ashley said, I've dated those kind of guys. But she didn't choose that. So, what we doing? I think instead of showing up that we're ready for love on the show, they're showing what it's like to date in Atlanta. Ross said, I think Pastor Chris kept leading with being celibate till marriage. One woman said that if she didn't like after waiting, I don't think he led with that. I think what he did was he put it out on the table, because when you are in a situation where you have to make an assessment on someone very quickly, I'm going to go to the stuff that you have to make a decision on. So he wanted to see what their response was going to be. Now, the right person, which I think was Stormy, she didn't trip. But I think the other woman, Melinda, tripped because she didn't really want Pastor Chris no way. Because how many women do we hear say, I want to be celibate? When do you tell a man that you want to be celibate and you want to wait till marriage? Women do it all the time. They do it all the time. So he was no different than a woman that does it. We see women on the Steve Harvey show all the time talking about, I'm celibate, I want to wait till marriage. What should I do? Yes, Ms. Long, it was the process of elimination. So if that is something that is important to him, yes, you need to talk about that off the rip. For me, it's a kid thing. How many kids do you have and how old are they? I'm going to talk about that right off the rip before I even start liking you. Do I believe attraction can be built over time? Yes. With women, I think it can be built over time. With men, I don't. Because I believe men are visual and they see what they like and that's it. I think with women, we have a point system. And for lack of better breakdown, we have a point system. Okay, oh my God, he's caring, he's loving, he's generous. All of these things make you sexier. He is a man of substance. You know, he's spiritual. It makes you more and more and more attractive to us. So, I think attraction can be built, but normally from a woman, it can be. But I would say a lot of men, if you ain't feeling her physically, she not going to just grow on you because of how physical and how visual you guys are. But as women, we have a different need a lot of times than you. Yes, we want you to be attractive to us, but you could be attractive to us and look like SpongeBob SquarePants, because that might be cool for us because all of the other back end things that you have going on and who you are outweighs the fact that he not walking around looking like Idris. Now, for a guy, y'all like the baddest woman in the room. So I think that plays a part. I think it's just in our natural makeup. Men are visual. Women, we are more looking for the protector, provider, that security type deal. And it always doesn't come in a wrapped up bow. And to be honest with you, I believe that as women, we're supposed to be the bad ones and the pretty ones in the relationship. We shouldn't be always out there looking for, and my man got to be fine. No, God created us women to be beautiful, to be flowers, to be soft and gentle. I shouldn't be looking for somebody that is as pretty as me. So that's just me. That's just Mason, you know? So I think there's a lot of guys out there that might be getting passed up on because, he ain't fine. Well, I don't want you as fine as me. It's taking as much time in the bathroom as I take. I don't need all of that. You know, I need you to be what I need you to be. And that's that leader, that protector, that provider, that man that's spiritually, that man that can lead the family, that man that is grounded. He's committed. He's trustworthy. He's honest. You know, he puts in effort. He's warm. He has empathy. Those are the kind of things that I'm looking for. And that makes you even sexier. Doesn't mean that you have to be a duck or you're not attractive to me. It just means that I don't eliminate you because you're not, he ain't Idris Elba fine. He ain't Morris Chestnut fine. No, I don't do that. I'm looking at other things. So I don't know, ladies, we got to get it together, especially on this show when you see that majority of the women are talking about how, like Ms. Long said, they could talk about how wet they get behind these men. And, I can imagine myself having sex with them already. But yet I don't hear anything else of substance. So Ms. Angeline said, many women have not learned what to truly look for in dating. That's why we have the Teach Me How to Date VIP Academy. I felt like I had to be the founder of that because everybody's trying to get to the end, to the sex or to the marriage or to the relationship, but we haven't mastered dating yet. Let's just date and see how that goes. So that's why I was compelled to get back to the dating process. Okay. So love you guys. Have a great night. And, make sure you share the video. If you're not a part of our academy, go to teachmehowtodate.com to join. Also, make sure you hit the follow button above and then click on see all and get all notifications. And join me over on YouTube as well under April Mason TV. Dorcas says, I like your points on how women pick their men. Factors we women should be looking for in our men. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm like, we be playing, y'all. We be playing. Yeah, we be playing. All of that is cute, you know. But, you know, he got abs and all of this stuff. Okay, but what that integrity do, though? What that character do, though? What that level of commitment do, though? You know? What that provision look like, though? We got to ask those questions. Have you been to therapy, though? Have you gotten over your issues, though? You know, have you opened up your heart, though? What that looking like, though? We don't ask those type of things. We so concerned about, he drives a nice car. He has a nice job. He makes good money. Okay, that's cute. That's cute. And I appreciate that. But let's go a little bit deeper, baby. Let's go a little bit deeper and talk about some other things. Why would your last relationship, what would she say was the reason why y'all broke up? Not what you say. What would she say the reason is you broke up? What have you learned from your past relationship? What was the main thing that you did that caused the relationship to fail? Let's talk about those things. Let's get deep. What was your relationship with your father like? What was your relationship with your mother like? If you have children, why haven't you seen your children in so long? Let's talk about that. Those are the things that we should be discussing to get to know who a person is. Not all is they got nice abs and he got the little, you know, what you call it, the beard gang, part of the beard gang, and that's so sexy. That's all cute. But sexy run out. Okay? Sexy run out. And we have to ask ourselves, do we really want love? Are we really ready for love? Or are we just saying that? Are we really just saying that? And I believe that a person that's really ready for what they say they're ready for, You can never ask the right person a wrong question. If they want to be open and truthful with you, that's just what it's going to be. So based upon what I've seen thus far on episode 2, if I had to make an assessment, I would say they aren't ready. The only people that I believe that might be ready is Ashley, Pastor Chris, even Mike. I believe Mike, but I need to see more of Alex's interaction. But I hate that they put Darnell off the show. I think Darnell would have made a great catch for someone if they understood how to talk to Darnell in a feminine manner to draw him out of that shyness. And he just might need to feel a little bit comfortable. But get a man talking about what he's good at, and you in there. Love y'all. Good night.